them.
But you don't ever work out boxing-wise anymore.
Yeah.
But you don't hit a bag?
My son's 15, and I know he wants to box. So anytime we get a chance, I'm always training him.
How big is he now?
6 feet.
Jesus.
Yeah.
He's taller than you.
Tyson's son is 16.
Oh, Miguel,
and Tyson's son was saying that he wants to box too. Tyson's like, listen, man.
No, Miguel's not built like that.
But he's also saying, listen, you grew up soft, and he's saying like you don't want to meet someone like me, like the way he was.
Yeah, I know Mike's. I know Mike's
like,
kids.
You don't want to meet some animal like me. Like when he was fighting, like he thinks of what he would have done to his own sons. Like, oh, don't do that. Like he was talking about it on the podcast.
And his son Miguel's a really talented kid, like musician-wise. He can play like 7 different instruments. And speaks Spanish.
Wow.
The kid's really, and he's a really smart, nice kid.
Well, Tyson's a smart guy. He's not like he.
I think people mistake Tyson for being a dummy.
He's smart.
Very, very intelligent, well-read.
Boxing is, in at least some levels, a very, very intellectual pursuit.
Yeah.
You have to have a strong mind to be able to dodge those punches, get in, and get yours in. You have to. You have to be able to sort out that problem. There's a problem in front of you. The problem is another man who's the same weight as you, the same size as you. He's got gloves on just like you do, and he's trying to do what you're trying to do to him.
And you have to do that within seconds.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
Punches thrown at you. What do you do? What's the rebuttal?
Yeah, people don't understand. They think just because someone doesn't have the best vocabulary or because they don't have a comprehensive education that they're not intelligent. And that's a big mistake.
No, Tyson's intelligent. I remember going to the Catskills when I was. I won the World Junior Championships in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. And I remember the American team was saying, "Oh, well, you never fought the best." I'm like, "Didn't fight the best. I thought Americans said the best team." Yeah, but one guy, he doesn't like taking planes, and his manager don't like taking planes either. So I'm like, "Who's that?" And they told me it was Mike Tyson, custom model. So me and my trainer, we left Canada and we drove all the way up there. And while we were up there, Razor Ruddock was up there, and they said, "Oh, Razor Ruddock didn't spar with us." I said, "Okay. I'll spar with you. I'm here for 4 days." So first time Tyson actually met me, he was a nice guy, really nice guy. He took me in his room, showed me some old flicks that I've never seen before of old-time fighters. He would tell me about each fighter, like he studied them. And then, this is where he got his his style of fighting from. And first day in the gym, Bell went, he came across and he was trying to kill me. Like, I did my Muhammad Ali thing, obviously stayed away from his power, but the first day was really hectic. And then the second day was a little hectic, and it got better as it went along. And the last day I got actually the better of him the last day. And I remember Customato saying, "Mike, you're going to meet him someday. Don't you do that." And that always echoed in my mind that, will we ever fight? Will we ever fight? Because Customato said that we're going to fight. Wow. And it did happen.
And there's footage of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Lennox has the footage of it.
Footage of the training sessions?
The sparring.
How old was Tyson at the time?
Tyson was he was about 52.
No, how old was he at the time?
Oh, at the time?
15.
He was younger than me. I was 17. He was about 17.
Wow.
At the time, yeah. I was 18.
No, he was younger than that.
That must have been crazy.
Because it was 84. It was before the Empire State Games and everything. You went up there before you went to the 84 Olympics.
Yeah.
Well, it must have been crazy, though, knowing that, you guys were going to be a part of boxing history, and knowing that all the way back then, and being a teenager, and standing in front and hearing Customato scream that out. That must have been intense.
It was intense because Customato wasn't that loud. When he all of a sudden he became loud, it was like everybody listened, know. And then, there's certain ways that you get across to people, and some people you have to shout at them.
Did you ever wish that you fought him in his prime?
In essence, I did fight him in his prime. And, when you say prime, I was in my prime too.
Well, you were definitely in your prime. You were, but I feel like his enthusiasm had waned before then, This is my perception.
Yeah, how I look at that whole thing is Mike Tyson was an early bloomer. I was a late bloomer. So, when both of us meet, there's never a perfect time. Perfect time for us is when we meet in the middle.
Right.
And,
Right, and if he won, maybe people would look at it differently, right?
Yeah.
It's because you beat him and beat him so soundly,
right.
that people look at it like maybe his time had already been gone.
Yeah, Lennox turned pro after Mike had already had a defeat.
Wow, no kidding.
Lennox turned pro in '89.
Wow, I never even thought of that.
And Mike lost in January of
Look
'89.
at
Yeah, this is us up in Catskills.
Look at you.
Look at Kevin Rooney.
Wow, that is crazy, man. God, that's crazy.
He was built back then too. He had a big neck.
Yeah, he was always doing those neck bridges. But he also just had freak genetics. I mean, just a phenomenal genetic specimen. I had Teddy Atlas in here, and Teddy Atlas used to take Mike to the smokers when he was 13. And Teddy was joking around about it. He said everybody always lied about how old people were. They would tell you the kid was 16 when really he was 20. They always did that. And he said, he goes, how old is this kid? He goes, 13. He goes, what does he weigh? He goes, 190 pounds. It's like, what the fuck, Teddy? Come on. He's like, I'm telling you, he's fucking 13. What do you want? So, nobody would believe it because he was such a specimen.
I watched that one.
Yeah, Teddy was great, man.
Do you think he should have stayed with Teddy?
Should have stayed with Kevin and Teddy.
Well, he definitely he was so wild. Like how could you tell him what to do back then? That was part of the problem. I mean, no one ever prepared him. And this is one of the things that we discussed on the podcast was that he was a 12-year-old, 13-year-old boy, and he was getting hypnotized. He came from a terrible background. There was no love. He was abandoned. And all of a sudden, he's getting love and attention for something. And this one thing was this man who was telling him, you're going to be a great fighter. You're going to be a world champion. And he would hypnotize him. He's saying, you don't exist. The task exists. You're going to work the body and destroy this man. And he would put these thoughts in his head. And Mike couldn't wait to just get out there and fuck people up because that's where he got the love. That's where he got the attention from. But he never told him how to shut it off. He didn't have time to work with him because he was on his way out. He was dying when he met Mike. Mm-hmm. And so he only taught him how to destroy. He never taught him how to cope. He never taught him how to understand that there's going to be a lot of shit coming your way, and you got to know what that is. And don't get caught up in that hype train. Don't get wrapped up in Hollywood. And he wound up marrying Robin Givens, and all.
I don't think Cuss foresaw all that other bullshit.
No.
How could he have?
No, if Cuss was around, Mike would be totally different.
He would have been a different man. If Cuss lasted another 15 years,
even if Jimmy Jacobs had lasted another 5 years,
maybe it would have helped. But I mean, it's like once removed from Cuss. It's like Kevin Rooney was once removed from Cuss, right? And then Teddy Atlas was way more of a hard liner. Teddy Atlas, you couldn't put any bullshit with, and like those other guys who just got to go, then he got to Aaron Snowell and all those guys that were with him.
Bums. Richie Giacchetti.
They could have never brought Mike to the dance, right? They got there when he was already at the dance, and they're just trying to like maintain things, and he's not listening to anybody. Mike Tyson.
They also weren't boxing people, as far as I was concerned.
When he was up with Cuss, he was in a good situation. There was a lady in the house cooking meals. They had Cuss there being a father figure, talk to him every day, and that's what young kids need. They need that, to be spoken with by older people.
Yeah.
And, a lot of young people nowadays are not even respecting the older people, but they can gain a lot of information from an older person. How do you deal with this situation?
Yeah.
Well, you hear from an older person, it kind of makes your mind think and say, you're right. It works for them. So anytime I get a chance to talk to kids about, their life and where they're going, always take that opportunity.